Yo, boys, we back at it again with the heart-shaped shade, spreading the love. Yes, sir. Alright, but boys, I was just out, just came home from running a half marathon. Pretty crazy shit. Got it done in like 2 hours, 4 minutes, something like that. So it's pretty good for me at least. Like first half marathon I run ever. I ran so far, so yeah. Uh, the longest I've been out before that was like 16, 17-ish. So yeah, pretty crazy shit. Um, Held a good pace, better than I expected, so it's good. But boys, something happened 2 weeks before I was supposed to run the half marathon. My fucking knees and shins just kind of gave up on me. They were like, "Fuck nah, bro. We're not, uh, we're not here for you anymore, dog." So 2 weeks ago, when I was out running, that was when I ran 16. 2 weeks ago, as preparation. Then I was like the days after, like the entire week after. It was kind of uncomfortable to walk as well, cause like my shins were just kind of hurting, honestly. Um, so it's a very interesting experience. But here's the thing, right? Because on this run, the 16-kilometer run 2 weeks ago, right? I felt something. I felt my knees begin to also give up on me, right? But when I felt it on the run, right? Like, I was kind of filled with fear, Like, fear, like, is this gonna ruin the run? Am I gonna run slow now and it's gonna be a shit run or whatever, right? Or am I not gonna be able to finish? Um, and all this fear kind of came through me, and I was focusing on the pain actually of the in my knee. So I was focusing on that, right? So 2 weeks go by. 1 week ago it was like okay-ish still, but it was still kind of risky. I think 1 week ago I ran a run. We run like 7 minutes per kilometer, which is not the pace I want to run. Slower than what I want to run. So I was kind of like, hey yo, am I even gonna be able to make this half marathon? Because my shins were hurting so much. But again, on that run, I was focusing on the pain of the shins. So I realized something. Me focusing on that pain actually made it worse, which is very interesting, right? So when I ran the half marathon today, when I began to feel like the beginning of kind of the pain arising, right? Like before it had reached its peak, I just instead of focusing on the pain itself, I actually just focus on my breathing instead. Just breathe in, breathe out. 2 steps, breathe in, 2 steps, breathe out, just like that. Focusing on that, and it actually took my focus. So that took my focus off the pain, and it kind of eased the pain as well. It wasn't really there. It was kind of in the background, and it didn't peak out. It didn't like fucking ruin me or anything. And that taught me something, right? It's like when we focus on like the negative things in our life, like fear, pain, suffering, like whatever, it actually like amplifies those things, right? Like you get more of that. If you focus on pain, you get more pain. But then on the marathon run or a half marathon run today, I focus on my breathing, on chilling out, right? Being in the present moment, the peace, the stillness. And as I focused on that, I got more of that, alright? It was more peaceful to run. So that's like very interesting, right? Like if you focus, like whatever you focus on basically gets amplified. It's the positive things as well, right? If you focus on the peace, the stillness, you get more of that. So it was very interesting actually to go through. That taught me a pretty important lesson, man. Like, just gotta focus on the positive shit, instead of the negative shit. But there's a balance here as well, right? Because we don't want to be like overly positive thinking where we avoid and neglect the negative, right? Because if you do this, like if you avoid the negative, kind of repress it, I think it'll still affect you in some way. So I think the balance and point here is kind of like being able to just notice the negative stuff, right? Observe it without being consumed by it, right? When I was on that run 2 weeks ago and my shins began hurting and my knees began hurting, I was being consumed by the pain, right? The fear, the pain, all this. I let it consume my entire mind, my entire body. And that made it worse, right? But I didn't, like today, for instance, on this half marathon run, I didn't just like repress the pain. I didn't throw it away, kind of. I just observed it without being consumed by it, right? Detached from it. You don't attach to the pain. You don't identify with the pain. All this, so like a detached observer in a way. And if you can do that, just notice, acknowledge, accept the negative things without resisting them, without pushing them away. They'll kind of just flow away, right? And then just focus on the positive shit instead of being consumed by the negative shit. So yeah, that was a little fun lesson I learned today. So and that's what I want to share with you all. So peace out, man. Peace.